A while ago, some people were pitching me a company that, well, then their concept of it then, it's now changed, thankfully, but their concept of it was, we're going to make a million tiny interstellar spacecraft. We're going to have them go out and discover extraterrestrial intelligence. We're going to bring back the technology from extraterrestrial intelligence to Earth, forget all those extraterrestrial patent rights and so on, and we're going to accelerate development of technology on Earth by a million years. Okay? So I was like, you cannot be serious. It's perfectly serious people, but you can't be serious. I mean, this is just a pure, it's an element for a script for the Silicon Valley TV show or something like this, because it's, what's interesting is what's philosophically wrong with this idea. So, you kind of go off and you say, we're going to discover alien intelligence, and then we're going to bring back its technology. Well, alien intelligence, it's kind of like there's many computational things going on in the universe, which we can think of as alien intelligences. The weather has a mind of its own, whatever else. But now the question is, well, what's technology to the alien intelligence? What's technology to the weather? What's technology to us humans? Technology to us humans is we take stuff that exists in the world and we use it for things that we have purposes for. And so it's a thing where it's not that there is an abstract concept of technology. Technology is all tied up with kind of the human purposes that we're that we're following. And so this idea, what you realize is, in the end, the story of kind of go out and find alien intelligence and bring back its technology is actually just the generic story of science. What science is doing is taking sort of aspects of the universe and finding ways to turn them into things that we humans can relate to, and then we can use them for our purposes and so on. So it's kind of that's in a sense the communication with alien intelligence, abstract alien intelligence, is sort of what science is trying to do. Science is an attempt to find a language which allows humans to understand and create narrative about what's happening in the world. I mean, my main life work of building our computational language is sort of the same thing. It's trying to make a language that bridges between what we humans think about and what is computationally possible. And that's at any given time in history, the things which we humans are going to think about and care about will change a bit, even over the 36 years that I've been building Wolfram Language. It's longer than that if you include the precursor that I built in starting in 1979. It's 40-something years. It's been interesting because the ambient things that people understand have moved a bit. And so the things that it makes sense to put into a language that caters to humans, I mean, as I pointed out a few times when we do design reviews of some software engineering thing, our market is currently humans. And so things that involve, like we're doing, color, visualization or something, the mantis shrimp, which has a lot more color receptors than we do, would have a different, view of how we should do, color for visualizations. But our market is humans, and you sort of understand from that there's a certain, there's sort of humans at this time in history, so to speak, who have a certain set of, have a certain domain and rule space. They have a certain sort of set of paradigms, and that's kind of that's what they deal with. But interesting question. I mean, to me, it's just a super interesting thing to try and think about what are really different ways to think about how things work. I mean, I was pondering to myself the following question a couple of days ago, which was, the Neanderthals died out, 50,000 years ago, whatever it is, right? They have made some artifacts, which in many cases we don't particularly understand what they were for, whatever it means to say what they were for, because that's involves sort of a thread of purpose that has to be connected to what we're talking about today. I was wondering what would happen if suddenly we discovered, a giant work of literature written by the Neanderthals, how would that change? Because it's kind of like the discovery of an alien intelligence. It happens to be a species intermixed with ours, but it's still something where, what would be understandable? I also, it reminds me of a long ago kind of funny project of video games for pets. It's kind of like if you could have, your cat create, Minecraft or something for cats, and you see, what does the cat make? And, maybe it makes something where you say, that just looks like a random bunch of blocks. I don't know what that is. But to the cat, it's an incredibly meaningful, deep, philosophical, poetic kind
expression.
of thing. Yes, right. But and that's this question of how do you merge kind of what is the human view of things with something broader than the existing human view. And in a sense, it is the goal of science to gradually expand that view, and it's the goal of sort of intellectual development to sort of expand to paradigms which allow you to sort of get further in the